Hi guys, welcome to today's podcast. Today's episode is all going to be about how it's not actually your mindset that's holding you back. It's what your body believes is safe. And I'm really excited to dive into today's topic because this is something that I've been receiving quite a few questions about. And so I wanted to take this opportunity to really speak to it and unpack it a little bit more here. So what we're going to cover today is why your intelligence can't override your biology, what happens when your body doesn't feel safe, even when your mind intellectually knows everything's going to be okay, and the real reason why you can't hold more money, more clients, more visibility, whatever it is, more of, and how to start actually building internal safety so that your actions actually lead to results. This piece around internal safety is huge and is something that has been a theme, definitely, across the clients that I've been working with this week. So I really wanted to speak into it. Let's dive in to that first piece, which is why your intelligence can't override your biology. I witness and I see this time and time again with clients that I work with, where there's this disconnect between their intellectual mind and what is actually happening in their body. And you would have experienced this yourself, I'm sure. I know I have. When you are a very intelligent woman, you know intellectually that things are going to be okay and that you're doing really well in your business. And the part of you that feels scared or that feels fearful is still ever present in the body and is still overriding everything. So how I see this playing out with so many women when I first start working with them is there will be something happening in their business that really rocks them to their core. And intellectually, they know that they will be okay, right? They're intelligent. They know they can figure it out. But what's happening in the body is there is a lot of fear. And so how it can look and how it can present on the outside is that someone may be crying and really sobbing, but they are telling themselves at the same time as they're sobbing that they know everything's going to be okay and that they know that they will figure it out. This is such a clear sign to really get out of the head and get back into the body. Because at that point, you're in deep survival and the body does not care what intellect you have to offer to the solution. It is in survival mode. And that is really important to actually really take some space to acknowledge and to let that energy run through your central channel. Because what happens if you don't, it is going to keep popping up time and time and time again. And every time you come to a challenge, you're going to intellectually say everything's going to be fine, but the body is going to be like, no, this is scary, this is fearful, and it's going to contract. Now, what happens is, think about this. When you're in a state of survival mode, which your body is when it's under fear, and when it is going to the most catastrophic scenario, is it creates this contraction, which means that your mind, all it can focus on is what is wrong. And when your mind goes to that place, it is no longer creative. It is no longer open to limitless possibilities. It is no longer open to actually finding the creative solution that is actually going to create the result that you want. What it's going to do is it is going to fixate on a tiny little piece of it And the answer that it's going to give you is probably actually not going to be the solution that's going to help. I know there's a lot to unpack on what I've just shared there. But what I'm trying to really ground in is it doesn't matter how many times you say something is going to be okay. If you feel this emotion coming up in your body, or you feel this tension and this resistance and this fear, then it's your opportunity to come into the body and to really be with what is the reality of the body, right? Which is the felt experience, and to be present with that. And we'll dive into this later, but this is such a key practice to actually create safety within yourself that's not reliant on the external being safe for you. So really understanding that you cannot bypass the body with your intellect. You cannot bypass the body with language, okay? Language is for the mind, and it serves well, right? And the emotion, the felt experience, is the language of the body. So if you're feeling something, it doesn't matter what you say, it's not going to get to the root and really unlock that unlimited potential for you unless you're willing to come into the body, unless you're willing to really regulate and understand your own nervous system and how to support yourself. So that is something that I witness. And the thing is that the body, the mind is very intelligent. And so the mind can be 10 steps ahead of the body. But if the body isn't caught up to the mind, there's always going to be this disconnect. And it's always going to feel more of a struggle to actually create momentum and create alignment in your business, in your life, in whatever area it is. So I really want to share that with you. That has been really present today. And what happens when your body doesn't feel safe, even when your mind does, is that you come into this survival mode. And when your body doesn't feel safe, it's always going to find a way to create safety. And so this is why affirmations on their own rarely work. Because if you're saying that you want something, but the body is like, I do not feel safe, or I do not feel worthy to receive that or to hold that, then there is going to be this push-pull within you, this kind of conflicting desires within you, that is going to mean that it's not going to create what it is that you actually truly want. So really coming back to connecting with the nervous system, connecting with the body, and bringing the body up to speed. Because when both are in cohesion, life does get to be so much more easeful and in flow, in an actual tangible way, not just like feeling in flow all the time. No, it's like you say you're going to do the thing and you do the thing, and there's no resistance to doing it, and you allow the emotion to come up, you create the space for that emotion to be there, and you still move, but you're not ignoring the body, and you're not ignoring the nervous system, you're not bypassing it, you're not shutting yourself off from the felt lived experience. And that is really, really important, because if we continue down that pattern of shutting off emotion, of saying, yep, everything's going to be fine, even though your body is screaming no, what happens later on down the line is total disconnect, feeling numb, wondering, who are you? Why are you doing what you're doing? And it creates this real break, this real separation. So to combat that, when you feel this emotion in your body, whether that's fear or sadness or grief or whatever it is that your mind does not want to be with, or your mind is already 10 steps ahead and is like, yeah, we've got this and it's all fine. That is your opportunity to slow down, to let the emotion run through your system. You do not have to wallow in it or stay in it forever. There's been so much research actually done that all it takes is 90 seconds for the full emotion to run your system before it dissipates. So if there's any fear around leaning into emotion, that is for you. 90 seconds to just fully let it run your system, be with what is present in the body, hold that space for yourself, create that safety for yourself. And then from that moment, from that place of being so connected with what is true, with what is present in your body, then make the decision, then take the action from that really aligned, embodied place. So how do you actually start to build internal safety so that actions actually lead to results? This is a huge topic, and I would just love to share one simple routine or tool or technique that you can be with, and that is really starting to actually just feel safe to feel sensation. And feel sensations such as, it can start with the external sensation, like my fingertips feel cool and my chest actually feels really warm. Start with body awareness presence. So start by simply witnessing what is actually alive in your body. What are the sensations that you feel? And this sounds so simple, but honestly, for a long time, I wouldn't have even been able to tell you that. It would have been like, I don't know, body feels like a body, right? So there are many, many layers to this. Start with body awareness presence. Then you can start to actually allow yourself to just create some stillness to allow whatever emotion wants to come through. And you can start by going into the internal world by simply bringing your awareness to your breath, bringing your awareness to the way that your body feels against the surface that it's on where you're sat. Then it can begin with noticing where the breath travels in your body. Is there tension? Is there openness? From a perception of observation versus judgment. And then you can start to see what is present. Like, what emotions are within me that maybe I've been pushing down and shoving down and just getting on with life and getting on with stuff that actually just needs some space to be felt. And give that to yourself. And if you need to set a timer for 5 or 10 minutes, then do that so that you know that you have a way to come out. But if this is resonating for you, I would love to dive deeper into supporting you to actually move through that kind of process. Because until your body feels safe, until you create that internal safety, you're going to create and experience a fraction of what it is that you can create and experience in this lifetime. Because if your body doesn't feel safe, it's going to limit what you create. And that's it. Because if it doesn't feel safe, it's going to find all these different ways, and they're going to seem really reasonable to you, right? They're going to feel so reasonable to you, but they are going to limit you. And so this is that piece around the importance of coming back into your body, create that safety, because your body does not care how intelligent you are. if it doesn't feel safe, it's going to hold you back in some way or form. So I'm going to leave it there tonight. Sending you so much love. Let me know what has landed for you. Let me know what you want me to talk into. I'm showing up every day, Monday to Friday, for this whole month of July. So I would love this to be a collaboration and a weaving between you and I. So feel free to share. You can DM me on Instagram. You can comment below. Would love to hear from you. Sending you so much love. And this is your reminder to come home to the truth of who you are. Come home into your body. It is so safe to feel. It is so safe to be present. And when you are present, you create so powerfully. So sending you so much love.